In previous videos, we've looked at what a storyboard was, we've looked at how to create a storyboard, and then we looked at an example of a completed storyboard complete with references. In this video, what we're going to do is start building our Moodle lesson activity, and we're going to start entering content into our lesson activity. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to your Moodle lesson page or your Moodle shell, and from there I've created a topic called Sandbox. Your topic could be anything you want, but I've got one that I play in called Sandbox. Over here, I'm going to go to Add Activity or Resource. Now you've got to remember always that I'm just scroll up that you've got editing turned on, turn editing on. Going back down to my Sandbox, I'm going to build an activity, add an activity or resource. Click on that. And over here I have my lesson. So I'm going to click on that. That's the Moodle lesson. Notice it branches, which is what allows us to create this kind of adaptive learning sequence. We're going to go ahead and, okay, we've got the setting for us to go here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our not our sandbox, but our storyboard. So we've got our storyboard here, and we look at where we're getting started. And this is going to be the first part of the lesson is going to be called OER and Creative Commons. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. And then I'm going to go to my lesson, and I'm going to paste that. And away we go. So we've got, this is OER. Actually, this is not, that's my first subtopic. We're going to call this OER and TVET is the course, because that was our main topic. We're going to go here, save and return to course. And now we've got exactly what we need here. We've got a Moodle lesson activity, it has nothing in it. It's completely blank at this point, but we have a reference point from which we can work. We're going to click on OER and TVET, which is our main lesson. And here we have an example of different things we can start with. You can import questions if you have a question library built that you might want to use some questions from. At this point, we don't. We will talk about a cluster in a later video. We will be adding a content page. That's what we're going to be doing in this video. And we'll be adding question pages and showing how to link to those in subsequent videos from here. So let's go ahead and add a content page. So we've got our first little bit of a content page going here. We have nothing here, so we need to figure out what kind of content we're putting in. Going back to our storyboard, we see that we want to use our first subtopic is OER and Creative Commons. So we're going to copy that, and I'm going to move that as my first part of the lesson. So my first content, OER and Creative Commons. Now we've got some page contents that we want to put in here. What we're going to do now is we're going to go look at our storyboard. We're going to open this up. We don't have any of our information here, but if you remember from a previous video, we've got built here, we've got our OER write-up document, folder 1, Creative Commons license write-up, folder 1, Creative Commons infographic, folder 1. We have a video that we've saved, some images that we're going to want to put in here. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to our document, our folder. So we're going to close that, we're going to close that, and I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to go to folder 1, text, and you'll see that I've got Creative OER write-up here, right there. So here's what we're going to be putting in here. So I've got, this is the text that we've already worked on. The subject matter experts wrote it up for us. We copy that, and I'm going to go into my Moodle again. I'm going to paste it. And away we go. We're getting going here. So we want to add a video here. You see that I've made that bolded here, so which means that there's a video added. We already saw that we do have a video that we want to put there. So again, I go to my storyboard. I go down to my resource area. I'm going to take this and I'm going to say, copy that, Command C that over here, or Control C. And I'm going to take this video, and over here, I'm going to see where there's a little video icon. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go video source URL. So this is how we're going to take a YouTube video. And my display options, we're going to leave that blank. My advanced settings, subtitles, there's all the things that we can add into that if we like. And we're going to insert media. So it'll pick a nice small size here. I'm going to get rid of this here. And the video is now embedded in there. Say I want to make this bigger. Well, what I would do here is I'd go to the video again. I'd click on that, go to the video, go to display options. I'm going to enter that video again. And let's say I want my thumbnail to be like 600 by 800. It's a good size for a video when you're putting in Moodle, just as a standard. Insert media. So you see it's a little bit bigger here. We're going to get rid of this one here. And now we've got a bigger video put in here. So it's right where it needs to be. Scroll up. Looks like I got rid of all the other text by accident. So this is a good example of what to do. So we're going to, again, open our document. And we had everything up to here to the video. Command C or Control C. Go here, enter. And I'm going to go ahead and put the text in there. So the text is there. I've got a video there. I've got some text afterwards. Now let's say that we wanted to take one of those images that we had from where we had this, which is in our folder. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Close this. And I see that I had an image of a student at a desk, and I think that would look great in where I'm putting this right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Moodle again, and I'm going to put it in this area here. I'm going to have it between the definition and the next part there. So what I want to do is insert an image. So there's the image file here. Browse repositories. We don't have a repository built yet. We're going to choose a file. We're going to go ahead to our desktop. I know that I've got it in folder, my desktop here. I've got it looking for my skills in demand files, folder 1, images. And I've got student at desk. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to upload this file. It's going to ask for a description of it. I'm going to put that down as student at desk. Get rid of that period. And we're going to make this a little smaller. Let's say we're going to go with 600 again, which is a good size. It makes it a little smaller there. And we're going to save image. And now the image is in there. So we've gone ahead and we've created our first bit of content. So what we need to do, that's our first page done. If we look back at our storyboard, which is right here, we see that, okay, we had our first Creative Commons, OER and Creative Commons, and then we're going to move to a knowledge check. Well, we make sure that we've got everything here. Creative Commons, OER, we've gotten that done. We've added our video, we've added an image. Now we want to go to Creative Commons license write-up. So we have another page that we want to add because it's going to be our next page. So because we don't want to put it all on one page, we want to break this up for our students. So what we're going to do here is this content 1. This is going to show up as a button on your page at the bottom. And I'll show you what this means when we preview it. We're going to put this down and we're going to call it next for now. You can call it whatever you want, but it means that they're going to move to the next page. We're going to save a jump. That jump means where is it going? It's going to the next page. This content 2, 3, 4, and 5, we'll talk about that in later videos. Don't worry about it for now. I save page. And we've got our first page built. Let's take a look and see how it looks right now. So that looks pretty good. We got video embedded. We've got images embedded. We've got stuff written in there. It looks fantastic. So we're going to go back to edit. And now we're going to add a new page, a new content page. So we're doing that. And again, basing everything off the storyboard, we're going to Creative Commons license write-up. Okay, that's in folder 1. So again, I'm going to close this. I'm going to Creative Commons licenses. I'm going to open that up. There's my write-up on it. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go ahead and open up my Moodle lesson again, and I'm going to paste it. I also notice that I don't have a page title, so I'm going to go back up to my storyboard to find out what I had named that. I named that Creative Commons license right up here. I'm going to go back over here and see what I called it. Looks like I just called it Creative Commons. So we're going to go to here, and we'll call this Creative Commons. And again, same thing plays. I want to add an image here. I know that I've got an infographic that I'm wanting to add. I go to the image. I browse my repository. I choose my file. I'm going to go to my desktop, skills and demand files, folder number 1, images, and I've got a Creative Commons infographic I'm going to put in. Open that up, upload file. I'm going to give it some sort of title or some sort of description, Creative Commons licenses. I'm going to make this let's make it a little smaller, 600 perhaps. We'll shrink it in a bit. And we should have that in there. There we go. So we've got our image put in. And then you would just continue on. So I'll save the page. Oh, required. I need a place to jump to. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit a next. And right now, because we're not going to add any more pages, we're just going to continue to build this on. I will let you build your own course as we go. And There's no point in continuing to watch me to add content pages. It's the same process. We're going to just add more and more content, go through our storyboard and add as much content as we can out of it. So if I go back to my storyboard, I would just go through, okay, I've got Creative Commons figured out. I've got the OER done, Creative Commons done. Moving on, I'm going to enter my UDL information. I'm going to enter my examples of OER and TVET information. That's my content. In the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to add questions in between, knowledge checks we'll call them. So I'm going to go ahead and save pages. And now we've got 2 pages built. One is jumps to the next page. This one jumps to the next page even though there isn't one. We're going to take a preview of it. So we go through here. That's great. We go to next. And there we go. It goes to the Creative Commons page. And then from there, goes to next. There is nothing built yet, so it'll take you to the end of the lesson, which is just a standard. But what we'll do is we'll actually create an end of a lesson in a later video. That's how you enter content into your Moodle lesson. In our next video, what we will do is add knowledge checks in between here to make sure that your students are tracking along with what you're teaching them and ready to move on to the next step. If not, then we'll have either some supplementary information for them to go to or just go back to the information that they've just come from to find the answers to the questions that they need.